All right. Welcome, guys, to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and we're running a little bit late tonight, guys. Definitely apologize for that. And since we're running a little late, you're gonna hear me do the introduction here to the phone queue. I forgot to do that. I forgot to take care of that before I started the show, so you're gonna hear the little dial up or whatever. So I apologize for that, guys. But hey, running a little late, as you just heard it right there. So give me a second. Actually, hold on.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show is scheduled to start in 25 seconds.
All right, here we go. You're going to hear the countdown here in just a moment for the phone queue, but I'm going to try to mute it if I can. It's going to say, your show will start.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, so I think we've gotten past all of the intros. And like I said, my apologies, guys, man. I'm running on fumes today. For most of you guys that know, I usually commute into my office on Fridays. I actually went into the office today because we had a special event, an off-site event when the bosses took us to like this cookology place where, it was a team around. Excuse me, and we're about, it was about 100 of us there, what have you, and we all were in separate teams, and we had to cook like on Chopped, and it was fun stuff. But that's why I look the way I look. As you can see, eyes are bagged because I have to get up at 5 a.m. in order to travel to Washington, D.C. on a one-day commute. Tough times, but that's why I'm running a little bit late, guys, and that's why, we're a little razzle-dazzled right now, but we'll go ahead and get it cracking. I want you guys to do me a favor. There's music playing in the background. Number one, guys, let me know if you can hear it, and let me know if it's too low or too loud. I'm gonna test something. I think as we continue, I might have a little light ambient music in the background. I may put like a little playlist together where it's just playing instrumentals. I'm just trying to add a little more spice, but I want to get you guys feedback. Let me know, is it too loud, too low, or what have you? Can't hear it. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping. I can hear it a little bit. All right. We're going to turn it up a little bit. We'll turn it up a little bit. Just a little bit. But all right, let's get started, man. I wasted a little bit too much time. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. For you guys who are new, this is Terrible Towel Tuesday, where each and every Tuesday, following the game that we most likely have played on Sunday or Monday, what we basically do here is we kind of semi-recap the game, but when we look at the upcoming opponent, obviously we haven't started that yet, since it's in preseason. So right now, we're just still doing Terrible Towel Tuesday, kind of talking about what happened. In today's video, we're definitely going to talk about who do we think will make the 53-man roster, because I would expect by the time I see you guys again in terms of Terrible Towel Tuesday, we'll more than likely know who's on the roster. Most of you guys know this coming Thursday will be our final preseason game. All right, and then also I do a Terrible Towel post-game show. After each and every game, I do a post-game show recapping the game, immediate reactions. And in most cases on Tuesdays, we show footage of the game as well. Do not have the all-22 footage as of yet. For whatever reason, they don't have that available for preseason. But I will definitely have that for you guys in this season. I think we did very well with that last year. Hope you guys would agree. So what we're basically going to talk about here tonight, man, let me get my notations here together. Talk about a few things, man. Again, I definitely want to try to make some predictions as far as what we think the 53-man roster will look like. Maybe not from top to bottom, just some of the guys that are on the bubble. We talked about a few of these guys on Sunday after the game as well, but we'll do that. We'll do a real quick injury report, and then also we'll just give, like I said, a few more quick reflections on the game this past Sunday as far as the dress rehearsal, and then the phone queue is open for you guys that want to call in. Keep it short and sweet, and after that I'll dive into the chat. All right, so let's get it cracking. So again, guys, give me a quick update. What are you guys hearing as far as the music? Is it too loud, too low, just right, or would you rather me cut it off? Again, just trying something to see, maybe if we can add a little ambiance, going forward. But anyway, let's talk first about the injury report. Somebody said it's just right. Okay, great. Injury report, man. We got some things to talk about here, guys. Number one, Sean Davis. We saw that he went out of the game on Sunday. We didn't know how significant it was. And from what he's saying here, just looking at the notes, he's going to get somebody to take a look at it, dive a little deeper into his ankle. Dr. Mel, you guys would know who that is if you guys, listen to the Steelers Depot. She's a female surgeon, girl surgeon is her name on Twitter. She says it's pretty much a high ankle sprain. He's optimistic that he will be available week 1. Doesn't appear to be serious, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on because, again, this could affect the 53-man roster. Remember, a lot of times you have to factor in injury, and then maybe a guy gets cut when the guy that's returning back to the roster is able to play. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Sean Davis is not going to get cut, but a lot of times the team makes necessary moves like that to slide somebody on the 53-man roster temporarily, and then maybe they get cut or released after the fact. So we'll see. We'll see if that has any effect in the safety department. Cam Kelly is looking pretty decent, so we could have a situation where Cam Kelly is going to be the guy starting, and maybe they feel comfortable with that without having to do a scenario where they have to finagle the roster for Sean Davis, because we also know that Mike Hilton has seen some time at safety this preseason, so we shall see. But definitely something to keep an eye on. Another injury we need to think about, man, and I'll get down, I'll talk a little more about this when we talk about the roster. Anthony Chickillo. Chickillo is another guy that a lot of us are saying is on the bubble in favor of, Tuzar Skipper or, Ulysses Gilbert. So we'll see how that shakes out things. Joe Hayden is back in practice. From what I saw today, he's probably not going to play, obviously, on Thursday, but it looks like he will be ready and healthy to go week 1. And that's probably it as far as injuries. I can't think if there's anybody else I'm missing. Guys, help me out in the chat. Is there anybody else that were, significantly had an injury or what have you? Bud Dupree. I think Bud Dupree got something minor going on. Again, Tomlin is saying it's nothing that he expects any of these guys to miss any real time. These guys should be available week 1. But it's just some things to keep an eye on because, like I said, these things could affect the 53-man roster initially. Ola's injury, could affect the 53-man roster initially. And if Bud Dupree has any little thing going on, that could be another reason, guys, why, a guy like Skipper might have an opportunity, especially since Anthony Chickillo, we might as well talk about it now, since Chickillo has some type of injury, some type of chest situation. We shall see. We shall see. Now, speaking of Tuzar Skipper, man, I found it interesting, and a lot of us talked about it, on Sunday. I know myself, Kenyon, and Tony talked about it. I don't understand why he's not playing special teams, and he was asked as much, himself, and he said it. He doesn't know. He said he has no idea why he's not getting special team snaps. Why is that significant? Well, if you follow the Steelers formula, the Steelers normally like to, get some of these backup guys in that type of role, that type of capacity where they're playing special teams. Because again, 53-man roster, 46-man active roster on Sunday, a lot of these guys have to play special teams. That's just how it works. So if a guy's not getting special teams reps, what is that telling us? That dress rehearsal was a little more dressed than we think. We may have seen what the first team special teams looks like and things of that nature. Ryan Switzer being your return guy. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I know we could say things could change, but I think we're pretty safe to say probably what we saw in that game for the most part is how things are going to shake up. Let's take a moment to give Black Hawk a round of applause for the donation. And And let's give another honorable round of applause. I'm going to do a quick one because I don't want to hold you guys. Another honorable mention here. Round of applause to my homie Dez there, DMob79. Love his comment there. He says, how much is it going to hurt to hit the like button? I appreciate that. And guys, I've told y'all several times, this dude supports me. That's my guy. He's a Ravens fan. You know, and there's no ill will between the two of us. Love that. And like he said, hit that like button, man, if you like what you see. Hit dislike if you don't like it. Let's see what else. Where were we at? What were we talking about, guys? Short-term memory. Let me see. What were we talking about? We were talking about injuries. I think I was done with that. Let's move on to the 53-man roster. Oh, I was talking about the dress rehearsal. It's gonna be interesting, man. The more I think about it, guys, talking about receiver, I think a guy like Ryan Switzer, Eli Rogers, these guys are probably going to make the team, both of them, which means that eliminates a few other receivers that we may have been looking at, the Holtons of the world, Deontay Spencers of the world. And I'm just saying, I don't know. I hope it's a shocker. I hope this final preseason game does shake things up like it did last year. But I just kind of feel like the Steelers are kind of leaning towards tradition. Let me interrupt myself really quick, and I appreciate my brother Tony and Kenyon for reminding me of some things. Let's talk a little bit about this roster as well, as far as some things that could shake out. Josh Jones, as you guys may or may not know, the safety from Green Bay was released. I think the Steelers perhaps might take a look at him. I believe this is a guy that they may have had on their radar before when he came out of college. Let's be interested to see, man, if we make a move at safety. Are we fully comfortable with all of the safeties that are there? I think Cam Kelly is showing that he's definitely going to be on the team. But what about behind that? I'm talking about defensive snaps. I'm not talking about guys who can play special teams like Dangerfield. Who knows? Do they feel like they can upgrade a little bit as far as the depth at safety? Or do they feel like Cam Kelly is the guy? I think so, but that's an interesting point. A guy like Josh Johnson. Speaking of which, here's something else that affects the roster. For you guys that don't know, Brian Allen, I see here, was waived. Didn't even make it to final cuts. He was waived. It says waived injured. And they also waived Herb Waters, injured. So, like I said, these injuries could have a key role and a pivotal role in, sculpting this 53-man roster. They did claim Javonte Dean off of waivers. I'm not familiar with him at all. Just to give you a little history, they said it's a kid that's out of Miami. He's 6'1.5", I believe, 185 pounds. He ran a 4.47 at his pro day, 34.5-inch vert, and a 10-foot broad jump. Sounds like a specimen. It sounds like isn't this interesting? It sounds like the Steelers have gone after that type of guy for the last couple years. Brian Allen was that guy, right? And then look at who we drafted. Justin Lane is that type of guy. And now you look at this guy. It's clear that the Steelers want a rangy, lanky corner with length, and some size to him with a little speed. But it's very interesting that they claim somebody at this point. I could be off base there, but to claim a guy off of waivers right now, going into the final preseason game, I mean, when you do that, are you really just filling a spot, or are you feeling like, no, this is somebody we want to take a look at? Because we all know our cornerback depth still isn't that great. Very interesting, man. Very interesting stuff here as far as this roster, but I'm very interested to see, man. Maybe this guy gets in the game and maybe they give him some time along with Justin Lane to see what these two guys can do. You never know. We pretty much felt like Brian Allen wasn't going to make it anyway, but like I said, to me, it's interesting to see that they would sign a guy or claim a guy off of waivers right now, this late in the process. Is this somebody that they want to try to get on the practice squad? Because I think this might be his, I don't know if he's a rookie or if this is his second season. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't read much about this guy, but that's very interesting. Is this somebody they want to keep in the tuck on the practice squad, or is this somebody who has a small outside chance to make the bottom of the roster as a sixth corner? we shall see. Who else I want to talk about, guys? See how much energy I get when I start talking Steelers. Like I told y'all how tired I am from commuting today, and feel like I'm going a mile a minute right now. Let's see. Who are some other bubble guys? Sutton Smith. Guys, Sutton Smith didn't look that great in that game for the time that he played. I went back and looked at the game yesterday, and I tried to focus on some of the bottom half guys. I didn't get to everybody. You know, I still probably need to get through the game a little more, maybe watch a little bit more of it tomorrow. Sutton Smith just didn't look great, man. He just, he wasn't horrible, but I'll tell you this. When guys like Tuzar Skipper is in the game, we're able to tell he's in the game, right? When guys like Ulysses Gilbert is in the game, we're able to tell he's in the game. They're flashing across the field. They're showing up in the run game. They're showing up in the pass game. Something. Even if they're not making the play, you're easily identifying these guys and being like, oh, I see this guy. Okay, I see what you're doing. We can't say that about Sutton Smith. Go watch the game again. Quite a few times, man, he was giving up the edge and just looked like a guy. So I don't know if Sutton Smith is going to make it. And me personally, there's no disrespect. This guy was a super late round pick. He's a smaller guy in stature. He was really pretty much a crapshoot anyway. I'm still in favor of a guy like Skipper making this team, man, because of what he's showing. And I understand, if you guys listen to SteelersDepot.com, I understand what Dave, Brian, and Alex Kazua both said. The fact that he's not playing special teams, it does scare me a little bit as far as Skipper. I don't know if he's going to make the 53. At first, I was going to title this video Message to Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin, because I want to plead the case for this guy. Listen, man, I understand that Chickalo has been a staple there in terms of seniority, but I think at this point, man, shoot for the fences. Go for guys or go with the guys that are showing potential. Chick is what Chick is. And if he's just going to be a guy, if he's just going to be probably the fourth rotational piece, third or fourth, because we still don't know if Ola is above Chick. But regardless if he's going to be a rotational piece, why not go with a guy that's showing some flash and has produced out of his mind for the most part in this preseason? We already know what Anthony Chickalo is. Okay? That's just my opinion. If there's one guy I want to pull for to be in the 53, it is Skipper. Of course, this is me already including Ulysses Gilbert. I'm not pounding the table for him. I'm already in my mind saying, oh, he's on the 53. Can't get rid of Gilbert. You can't put Gilbert on the practice squad. And I'm starting to feel that way about Skipper. I don't think these guys are going to last. Look around the league. There's somebody else that needs linebackers. Let me tell y'all something. And this ain't no slight to him, because a lot of us was in favor of this guy when he was on our team. You know who's starting at linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles? At least it looked like it to me when I looked at their little dress rehearsal. Yeah, LJ Fort is starting. And this ain't no knock on Fort, but if he is starting, that's telling you the type of depth or lack thereof that they may have. There's a team in the league that would look at what Skipper is doing on the outside and or Gilbert on the inside, and they'd be like, oh, let me get that player. Oh, yeah, let me get him. Yeah, bring him over here. 4 and 5. Bring him over here. We take him up off your hands since you want him on your practice squad. And y'all know I like to always quote movies and things like that. Where that 4 and 5 come from? Let me see where you guys are in your movie watching, or could be comedy. Tell me. But yeah, it's definitely going to be somebody that's going to be like, yep, let me get him. Bring him on over here. So I don't think we can practice squad these guys. I really do not. And I think Gilbert has a better chance, if I had to bet at it, than Skipper, only because, again, the depth. I think my gut feeling is telling me if they only keep 9, my gut is telling me that they keep 5 inside and 4 outside. And if that's the case, it pushes Skipper to the outside. right? It pushes him as the lone man out because the Steelers are more than likely going to do Chick and a Danny. Of course, the Danny, we want to see him make it, of course. And that's what scares me. But I'm hoping there's a way to find a way to get both of these guys on the squad, man. I'm really pushing for that. Okay, I see y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Okay, Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah, Kings of Comedy. And it's funny, man. Y'all, as you guys learn me, I do this quite often. Like, I'm a movie buff. Like, me and my wife could have a conversation just in movie talk. We could just literally talk about movie lines. And Tony, too. Tony be up on his movies, too. So y'all will hear me do this quite often as you get to know me. Jesse George says, I would cut Dirty Red and keep Skip. But that's the thing. Is when I say in the title, who will make the 53, I'm not talking about us. What will the Steelers do? That is the question. What will the Steelers do? I think all of us know what we want to do. But what are the Steelers going to do? I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for these guys, man. And I think that's all I got, man, as far as my babbling. Let me see. Let me check the notes here. Was there anything else? Am I missing anything else, guys? Y'all let me know. And again, if you want to call in, man, phone number's right there. 619-924-0818. While I wait to see if you guys call, man, I'll do some more quick reflections of the game. Defense really impressed me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody looked pretty good. And Kenyon. Hey Kenyon. Hey buddy Kenyon. Let me get on Kenyon nerves real quick. Because me and Kenyon always go back and forth about Bud Dupree. Look, Kenyon won't even say the man's name in text message. But I respect Kenyon for that though. Because yeah, he has to, he has to earn it. And my fault, Dez, I see Nightbot got you. What do he do? Oh wow. Your message there, they must have took that as a threat. So I got you. I'll unblock that. Listen, man, Bud Dupree is showing more than he's ever shown in just these few reps that we've seen. The two things that I've noticed out of Bud Dupree, and again, I'm with Kenyon all the way. He's gonna have to earn us calling him, respectfully, calling his name respectfully, and he's definitely gonna have to earn the title of Stud Dupree. Right now, he's a touch above Dud Dupree. He's getting back to just Bud. I would love to see him get to Stud. But what I have noticed out of Bud this year, man, that we've been waiting to see. Speed to power. You're seeing it. You're seeing Bud Dupree actually attempt a bull rush. I've seen Bud Dupree basically, I've seen Bud Dupree use his hands, quick chop, quick rip, something we have never seen. So far, Bud Dupree is not just trying to win on the edge with just speed. In this game, if you go back and watch on that sack with Stephon Tuitt, where they both met at the quarterback, Tuitt got there first, Bud Dupree did the long arm punch to the chest. And it worked. I mean, the long extension. We have not seen this out of Bud Dupree. Now again, so I'm clear, I'm not saying that Bud Dupree is going to be the man and we should sign him again next year I'm not saying any of that. But I am hoping that Bud Dupree will be the best Bud Dupree we've ever seen this season while he's on the team. He's on the team now. So regardless of look at Kenya talking about stay on topic. Regardless of what we feel about Bud Dupree, he is on the team. So I'm gonna wave the pom-poms for him while he's on the team. Then we can talk about the lack thereof once he's gone, and then we can start looking for another pass rusher to complement TJ Watt beyond Bud Dupree. But while he's on the roster, I gotta hope that he's gonna be the best Bud Dupree. That's the only thing else I can do. But yeah, I mean, listen, guys, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I'm seeing a better looking Bud Dupree. This is preseason. I gotta preface it with that. Can we see this week 1 against Brady? Can we see this consistently throughout the year? That will be the question. Because even TJ Watt has said himself that he thinks it's going to be a special year from him and Bud Dupree. We shall see. And if he does that, I will be the first one to stand up. I'll make a solo video and dedicate it to him and send it to him on Twitter and say, man, you were stud Dupree this year. I have been down on you for the last few years because your potential never seemed to show. But I stand here as a man and I say, you know what? You turned into stud Dupree at least in this year. I would love to have to do that. We shall see. But all right, guys, let's see what else y'all got, man. Look at Kenyon, y'all. Kenyon won't even say the man's name. I love it. All right, we got some phone calls, man. Y'all know the routine, man. Short and sweet. Let's see. First call we're going to take here is area code 973. You should be live right now. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sim? How you doing today, brother? It's Jay Will.
Jay Will, what's up, man?
I basically had 2 questions for you. I wanted your opinion on it. I wanted to know how many linebackers you think we're going to carry on the team this year. That's 1. And 2 is, do you think Deontay Spencer going to make the squad? And if so, what's his path to making the squad? That's basically it.
Oh, man, Jay Will got me working, man. Appreciate the call, brother, like always. And we got more calls here in the queue, I see. And guys, I kind of like how he did it. That quick in and out. And I'm going to allow you guys to hold me to me being quick, too. Don't let me get long-winded. I'm going to look at the chat. Don't let me get long-winded. Y'all say, all right, Sim, hurry up. All right, we're going to hold each other accountable. Really quick, let's answer his questions. Traditional Steelers usually keep about 9, but I'm hoping, Jay, I really hope that they keep 10 this year, man, because I think we desperately need it. Desperately. Because of the depth issues. I think you could argue we probably want to have 5 inside backers, and you probably need to have 5 outside backers because of the depth. Because of the guys that are in between the bottom of they have and the starters. Okay, really quick, TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, and then it falls off to Chicolo. And Adaney, which we hope Adaney is going to be nice, but then we don't trust Chicolo to be the 4th guy. So I feel like you got to keep somebody else that might light a spark, like a skipper. Inside linebacker. Okay, I think we got a pretty solid trio. I don't even say their names. Then after that, Dirty Red. So right there, I'm like, nah, I might want to keep Gilbert too. I think Gilbert can overtake him. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is 10. But I don't think they're going to do it, but I hope they find a way to do it because I think you desperately need it because there are injuries as well on the outside with Chicolo, with Adaney. Spencer, he's going to have to flash in the final preseason game, man. He needs an actual kick return, I think, because I still think the Steelers are in love with Eli and Switzer. I don't think he has any other path to kick one of those guys off unless he really splashes in the return game in the finale. Let's move on to the next call, man. Area code 609. You are live. What you got for us?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
Good. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I got 2 questions for you. What are your thoughts on Jordan Dangerfield? I mean, I already know at this point he's going to make the team, but, like, do you think there's somebody, like, you know, for instance, Marcus Allen, something like that will make the team? And my final question is, who else do you think that, like, you know, that's underrated or anything like that, you know, has to, like, splash this last game in order to make the team? All right? Thanks.
Man, definitely appreciate the call, man. You guys are doing an excellent job tonight, man. The underrated guy is going to be my same response. And maybe if we keep talking about him, it'll happen. I think it's Skipper. Right now, it's Skipper. It was Gilbert, but I think Gilbert definitely needs to make the team. So I'm not even putting Gilbert in the long shot category. In my mind, he's on the 53. Tuzar Skipper to me is the long shot, the underrated guy that I think he might have a chance. I hope the Steelers see it the same way. Jordan Dangerfield, I kind of feel the same way about him as I do Chicolo, right? He hasn't been great for us when he's had to play defensively. You know, he's a special teams guy, which I know that's important in the league, obviously. But I just feel like, man, when a guy has been there for long enough, 2, 3, 4 years and they still haven't changed their role, it's time to bring in new blood. That's just my philosophy. I would love to allow Marcus Allen to have more time. I don't think he's going to get it, man. I think the Steelers are going to let him go because I think Cam Kelly, again, the numbers game. Cam Kelly is going to be at one of the safeties. So now you're talking about Dangerfield or Allen. It's probably going to be Dangerfield in the eyes of the Steelers. Moving on, guys. Area code 304. You are live. What you got for us?
Hey, Sam. How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
Hey, this is Steelers Spartan. I don't know if you remember me.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, I do.
all right, well, to keep it short and sweet, I think enjoying the preseason and looking forward to the real season, looking at our opener. And it's going to be a tough challenge going in there in New England, but I can take the loss. But the thing that's going to make me be worried for the rest of the season if they get beat one way, and that's if they don't know how to handle the no huddle.
Oh, yeah.
They have to. I got to see improvement from 2015 when they went up there and they no huddled them and they moved Gronk all over the place and they didn't know what to do. As long as they don't get beat that way, I'll have more of a hope for the season. So that's what I'm hoping that'll happen, even if we lose. Short and sweet, man. Take care. Love your content.
Oh, man. Thank you for calling, man. Love you guys as well. And, believe it or not, guys, I have a ridiculous memory. I definitely remember Steelers Spartan. And most of the time, I can remember you guys just photographically just seeing your name. So, yeah, welcome back, man. And I agree. I'll keep it short and sweet. If we go there and lose like that, oh, man. I don't know what that post-game show going to be like. And just being realistic, guys, I don't know if we're going to go beat New England. I don't know if that's going to happen in New England, coming off of the circumstances of them winning the title. And they're still going to be the well-oiled machine, even though I think we look good. If it's a close game and we see that we played well and we lose, things happen, right? You're on the road. But if we get the brakes beat off us, that's going to put a gut punch in my stomach. So we shall see. I actually think we can win this game. That's just me. I really think we can, but we'll see. Moving on, guys. Area code 386. You are live. What you got for us tonight?
What up, Sim? This is your Florida boy, still a fan. Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think we could win that game in New England. My biggest take from that game against Tennessee really wasn't the defense. It was watching Connor, man. That boy looked like he ready.
Yeah, man.
Real quick, really nice burst. He looked lighter, some moves. Looking at Samuels and him, I think that's going to be the difference for our season. Big Ben going to do his thing, but not having that threat of a consistent running game hurts teams. And Connor looked good. Filer looked good too, but that's my quick take. That's
He
what
did.
I was looking for.
Filer looked real good.
Come on, on the ground, and how Filer was going to hold up. That was my biggest concern, because everything else, I think, will take care of itself. They're motivated this year. But that's all, man. Love the shows. Keep doing your thing. Love the after game shows too, man. And I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling. You're absolutely right, man. James Caan. I think we talked about it Sunday. He looks good, man. Even his pass pro. He looked very good. And let's not forget this. We beat New England last year, didn't we? We did. But let's get the monkey off the back. I saw them ask Cam after the game. They haven't won in New England. There's certain guys on the team that have never won. Let's go get that monkey off our back. I think we are talented. I got to credit Tony here really quick, then we'll go to the next caller. Tony has said this offline. Gronk has usually been our kryptonite, right? When it comes to New England, along with Tom Brady in the no huddle. Let me not act the fool and act like it was only Gronk. But even that game 2 years ago at home that we still should have won because Jesse caught it. Final 3 minutes. Brady just goes down the field. Sean Davis drops the interception that probably would have ended the game, right? And then after that, they picked on Sean Davis and Mike. Was Mike Mitchell still there? And I believe Mike Mitchell was still there. They picked on Sean Davis and they went straight at Sean Davis. 3 consecutive shots to Gronk. Picked on him again down at the end zone. And he gave up the one-on-one against Gronk. And then it's Gronk. But that has really been our biggest problem dealing with them. Even the year, y'all remember the year when they came to Pittsburgh, and I think Landry Jones played that game. Threw a bad interception early, but we even had an opportunity to win that game, and then late in the fourth quarter, Brady the Gronk, 40-something yards to the end zone. We beat them last year. I think our team is a little better collectively. Yeah, we don't have AB. We got to see what Bill Belichick is going to do to take away Juju. Keep that in mind. All right, moving on, guys. Area code 803. You are live. What you got for us?
Hey, good evening, brother. Touching up a little bit about the New England, I think only thing that really is scaring me is safety high. If Sean Davis do it, if Sean Davis has a high ankle sprain, will we go out and get a Josh Johnson? Other things, I just feel that Eli Rogers, Kyler Manikevich, and Chicolo, they've pretty much shown us, like you said, they've shown us the best of what they can be. And I think a Spencer or a Johnson and Skipper and Gilbert, I was about to say Grant too, I think those guys really deserve a chance to be on the roster this year. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for calling. You guys are doing great with the time, man. We got 3 more calls in the queue. Fully agree. That's a great point, what you said, man. The safety play, that down the field, the middle of the field is where Brady has killed us, right? And they've killed us with Edelman, a little short crossing stuff. I think Devin Bush gonna have something to say about that with the speed. But I'm concerned too, man. I'm really concerned about that. And I fully agree with what you said about Chick and even Dirty Red and even Eli. As much as I think Eli has potential, if somebody had to make me make a decision right now, I gotta go with recency bias. I might have to take Spencer over Eli, man. No, Spencer, Eli's not a world beater. Switzer's not a world beater, but he did do some things last year. And Eli coming off an injury, it's one of those things. I don't think either one of those guys are great, but Eli's been there. He hasn't been great when he's had great moments, but you got to go with the hot hand, man. And I think Switzer, and just being who he is, he's gonna be hungrier than Eli. He knows he's a long shot in the league, and you can tell in the way he plays and his demeanor. You know, he's our Edelman, so to speak. You know, maybe a lesser version, but I would go with Switzer over Eli, man. And I love Eli Rogers for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but I do. But all right, let's move on, man, because we got more calls, and I'm keeping myself short as well. Area code 412. There's 2 of them in the queue, so the first one is 412-354. You are live. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? My name's Logan. I'm a first-time caller. I love your show, man. Just had to call in.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, man. You from Pittsburgh, by the way?
I am, yeah. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, absolutely.
Oh, man, we always love when native Pittsburgh fans call because, you know, I'm not from Pittsburgh, but I feel like I'm an honorary resident. So I appreciate the call, man. What you got for us?
Absolutely. I just wanted to touch on Skipper. I think that they're going to put Ola. I think that's what the Steelers will do. I don't necessarily think that it's what I would do, but I think they're going to put Ola on the short-term IR, allow that knee to fully heal up, and then that'll allow them to put Skipper on the 53 right now. I just think in the short term, you know, as a rotational piece, you can't not have him on the field. You know, if Bud or somebody needs a rest. Yeah. I just like that option, having that option to do that. That's what I think they'll do, just so we can keep Skipper around and see what he can do. I'm listening to you on my other phone, so I'm going to hang up and let you talk and see what you think. I appreciate it, though, man.
Oh, man, Logan, I appreciate you, man, as well. Let's give Logan a round of applause, guys. You know I love our Pittsburgh guys, man. Appreciate the call, Logan, man. Like I said, I always give my honor and respect to Pittsburgh natives, because every time I come there, you know, you openly adopt me into the city, and I mean that. Anybody who's never gone to Heinz Field and gone to a Steeler game, you have to go to understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to get Tony there. I promise Tony that. We're going to get to a game together. The atmosphere, just the people. I mean, where you from? You know, on the way there, I live in York, PA, right? I'm about 3 hours from Pittsburgh, and all the way there, every stop is flooded with Steelers fans. Everywhere, every stop off restaurant is crazy. And when you get there, they embrace you, man. The Steeler Nation is real. So that's why I always give my respect to those Pittsburgh natives, man. Hats off to you guys. We love your team, which is our team. And I love the city. I even love the way the city is designed, but that's a whole nother topic there. Area code 330. I believe this might be Duran. I could be wrong, though. 330. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, man? You right, it is me.
What's up, man?
One thing I got to say, I am no longer really worried about our wide receiver core. Yeah, they got some hiccups, but the talent that's there, my goodness, I haven't seen this much talent on the roster back when we still had, if I remember correctly, Hines Ward, Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, AB, and I can't remember our slot cat. I want to say Nate Washington, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen this much talent fly out on the team in a very long time, from top to bottom.
Yeah, man, it's very, very, very talented. Like you said, it's not really anybody that people would say are superstars outside of Juju. And I think the funny thing is, with AB leaving, it's almost like Juju's superstardom has started over. Now people want to say, okay, what is he going to do after proving himself for 2 years? And it's rightfully, rightful concern because he hasn't been the number one guy. But outside of Juju, the rest of these guys are just talented guys. If James Washington can keep playing the way oh man, if he could be Oklahoma State James Washington, we got something. We got something. And if your boy Moncrief, man, can just be that blazer, because people forget Moncrief is fast. He's a fast guy, and we have to be fair, and we have to remember, we haven't seen all that he could offer. Andrew Luck, respects to Andrew Luck, man. I don't want to take time on that, but that was a shocker, wasn't it? Wow. And maybe I'll address that on the post-game show where I have time to talk about that, because we're getting closer to wrapping up tonight. But yeah, Duran, thank you for your call. But you're correct, man. As far as top to bottom, I think it's a very sneaky good wide receiver core. All of these guys can do certain things. I'm talking about the main guys. Just think about it. What Switzer does offer when he is out there in a full receiver set with Juju, Washington, and Washington 2.0, anything we can get from Moncrief, and then you got Switzer out there running underneath. And let's talk about Deontay Johnson. If he finally gets healthy and starts producing, we got some talent, man. We absolutely have some talent, so I fully agree with that. Next caller, man, area code 412-586. You are live. What you got for us?
How you doing, Sim? This is Pat. How you doing, man?
Good, Pat. How you doing tonight, brother?
I can't complain. First of all, I wanted to share on the New England game. I think we can actually win that game. For me, I feel like the red zone might be a difference maker in that, and I feel like establishing Rosie Nix, and I want to see Benny Snell. That's like if you have Rosie Nix, have the offensive line, and have Rosie Nix as an extra blocker, have Benny Snell with his bruising type ability. I feel like we could have chances to score like that besides Connor and those swiftiness of Jalen Samuel. But I had a question about the 53-man roster, because I feel like the receiving core, I feel like what I saw in the past couple preseason games with Spencer and how he's done in special teams and on the field, do you think they might go with maybe 2 quarterbacks so they can maybe fit an extra wide receiver? Because I feel like if you have Spencer in kick coverage, I think you could use Switzer in punt coverage. So they can both have sort of an effect and an impact for special teams on those two spectrums. So I know, because I normally know that they like to keep 6, but I feel like Deontay Spencer has done way too much in the preseason for him to be on the practice squad. and I feel like he could be somebody that could really be a force on this team. So do you think they can maybe go 2 quarterbacks with just Ben and Mason Rudolph so they can fit another receiver into the 53 and adding 7? And I agree with you with Skipper and Grant. I feel like Skipper should have a chance on the roster because as much as it pains me, I really do like Chickalo. But I feel like Skipper in the past couple games has really shown that he can really be a huge use to that defense as a backup to Bud Dupree. But I just want to get your thoughts on that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man. And we're going to throw a round of applause to Pat, too. Y'all know he's as another Pittsburgh guy. Love it, man. And like I was saying to you guys, man, if you get a chance to go. I see CT, let me get his name right here. CT Pittman said him and his wife, went a few years ago. It is amazing. It is an amazing experience to feel the culture and just feel that fan base. And they treat you, they welcome you, man. I promise you. Man, I'm going to be honest, Pat. It hurts because it hurts to say this because we know the Steelers ain't gonna stretch but so far. Like already tonight, I think we've all talked about maybe 3 scenarios that are out the norm for the Steelers. They might give us 1, but I don't see them giving us too many. Wow, 2 quarterbacks. Wow, man. Whoa, it's been a long time. Honestly, and I'm sure it's happened, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It happens so infrequently. I don't even remember the last time that's happened. I think maybe when I want to say maybe Ben's rookie year, because other guys got hurt, we might have ended up with only 2. Because I think it was Maddox and it might have been St. Pierre and he got hurt. But man, we asking for a whole lot for that. Because now we saying for us to have 7 receivers, and then y'all know we want to trim the fat somewhere to get Gilbert and Skipper on the squad. I just don't. I love the team. I love the organization, but I don't trust them to be risky because they haven't shown us that they are willing to do what it takes to be risky every year. They have done some things recently. I will say that. Last few years, they've done some things we didn't expect, and it's not the norm, like the trading up to get Bush. But, man, we really asking for a lot. And I'm with you, though. I'm all about, and again, I'm going to quote Alex Kazor here because I know Alex has said he's actually listened before. So I appreciate that. Listen to the show. To quote him, I want to keep the best guys on the team. The best guys, regardless of position. And that's including practice squad. I want to keep them all. And to me, Spencer, and right now, is one of the best guys out of that full roster. So I would try to find a way to keep him because I think that boy is lightning in the bottom. He is a home run waiting to happen. Just my opinion. Last call of the night, man. Area code 814. You are live. What you got for us tonight?
Hello, man. I'm first-time caller. I just wanted to ask you about our cornerback situation. And what do you think about Artie Burns?
Oh man, that's Artie. I'll definitely answer that. And that was short. You got anything else? You got a little more time if you like.
Not really, man.
That's it.
Enjoying the show.
All right, man. Well, I definitely appreciate the call, man. I didn't recognize the 814, so I knew he was a new caller. So thank you for that, man. I really love it. I love that we're reaching more people and more fans and still a nation, man. And like I told you guys, man, didn't I tell y'all this thing was going to start picking up? Look at all these phone calls tonight. And you guys did a phenomenal job keeping it quick. Here's another announcement really quick. I think, guys, I'm going to move away from that 30 minutes. I'll tell you more about that later, but I think what I'm going to do is say we're going to lock in an hour. Okay? And that's not extremely long if you're a super duper Steelers fan, because, I mean, we all listen to the Terrible Podcast and other podcasts that are much longer than that, right? And I think that's a great time frame for us live listeners who we could go all night, as well as those who might check it on the replay. I think what we're going to do going into the season, I thought about this the other night because I think I'm chumping you guys sometimes when I say we're only going to do 30 minutes. And every time I say that, tell me I'm lying. Every time I tell y'all it's going to be a short show, don't we do 50 minutes? Every time. Every single time. I bet you some of y'all are like, man, he say that every time and the show always goes to 45, 50 minutes. So I think what we're going to do is these shows will be designated for 1 hour, hard stop at an hour. We'll either go that long or we'll stop early, depending on the nature of the show. I think that's fair, and I think that's enough time for us to get our stuff off, and there you have it. But yeah, let me answer your question, man. Cornerbacks, it's crazy that we all look at the depth on some of these positions and it's weak, but we still feel like the team looks good. Isn't that odd? Because if you look at cornerback, right? Steven Nelson showed me some things in that game. He looked pretty solid, okay? And we know what he's going to be. Steven Nelson is going to be he's going to give up some plays. He's going to make some plays. He did that in Kansas City. What I like the fact about him is that he is battle tested. Kansas City runs man, 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 man. He's battle tested. And he was targeted quite often last year. And that's the reason why, yeah, he gave up some plays. It happens. But he's battle tested. He's going to help us. Joe Hayden is going to be that crafty veteran. Okay, obviously he's slowing down now. He's a bit older. But I still think he's a serviceable, maybe above average corner still. And in that scheme, I think that's going to work. Now let's talk about who's behind those guys. I'm not going to talk about Mike Hilton because Mike Hilton obviously only works in the slot and he has worked at safety. But if we're talking about outside rotation, we're talking Cam Sutton, Artie Burns. Who else? I actually need to look at Justin Lane. And then who's the number 6 guy? Maybe this guy that they just claimed off of waivers. A little shaky. Now, speaking of Artie Burns, I think Artie Burns, man, is... I said this on Sunday's post-game show, but in case you guys missed it, I'm beyond the point of expecting anything from Artie Burns. And that's not a negative shot at him. I'm just keeping it real. He is what he is. Artie Burns is at the point now where he has to surprise me or wow me. I'm beyond the point where I'm expecting, man, when maybe he could, and he might be. And you know what? To be fair, that's kind of how Kenyon probably feels about Bud Dupree. So that's a fair comparison. But give me Artie Burns at this year when we know we're going to run man coverage and let him press or bail. Let him just be a one-trick pony. Don't put him out there when he has to play match coverage or traditional zone, drop zones, things like that. Don't do it because Artie Burns' biggest problem is peeking in the backfield. And yeah, A.J. Brown gave him a little shake and shimmy in that game, but listen, man, great receivers are they're gonna do that to non-great cornerbacks. So I can't judge him like that and just say that, look at what A.J. Brown was doing. The great receivers do that to corners. Even the great corners get beat from time to time. So you can't just isolate it to that. You got to look at why somebody is getting beat or what have you. And like I said, Artie Burns' biggest problem is since he's been with us, he's the backfield. He's always looking in the backfield. He doesn't put confidence into his play. And it's just not going to work. So if we're running a scheme, it's 3rd and 15 and we just going to get in your face and he can press. I'm cool with letting him play man press. So other than that, not confident in him. We do have one more call, guys. So let's take this one really quick and then we'll be done for the night. Area 313. You are live. What you got for us tonight?
Hey, what's going on, Slim? This is your boy from Detroit, the one I called you a couple of times.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
thing I want to drop to you, I checked out the game against Tennessee, and I'm hearing what you're saying about the defensive back. Only thing I'm liking what I'm seeing, they getting a little bit more physical on them tackling and hitting the ball and the receiver, good timing.
Yeah.
That picked up. That's what I've been waiting on. You got to be able to stop grab tackling and put some hitting on people so those balls was coming out. I like that. That was real good. And that's what Artie picked up. That's what I hate about Artie. Artie starting to now drop his shoulder pass down and hit people. That's when we get back to Steeler football. I was so happy to see that. And yes, I've been there. I went to see the Steelers a couple years ago play San Francisco. And yes, it's unbelievable. It's awesome. And I took all my pictures in front of the Super Bowl trophies, and I took me a big picture in front of the Immaculate Reception. I stood on the thing, and of course, I emailed it all through Detroit. You know, this is a real football team. I'm sorry, Lions. It is what it is. But once again, man, you're doing a great job, brother. I appreciate you, and it's awesome, man. Hey, go Steelers this time. We will be there this year. Back to the playoffs, baby. Here we come.
Oh, man, appreciate that. Live from Detroit, man. I appreciate it, man. And you're right, because I definitely remember that now that you talk about that. You were the one preaching physicality. He's right. We actually are looking better in that department. Even Artie. Remember after not this game, but the second week, remember I was saying, yo, Artie coming up and tackling. Remember how he, rushed, what's his name, speedy guy, what's his name, Tyreek Hill. Artie was closing fairly quick, making the tackle. And that's why I said, I mean, if we put him on the field, just put him in a man situation. There's less room for error. Just telling him, guard this guy. You might give up a catch or two, but at least you'll be close to him. But Artie gets into trouble when he's in zone. It just goes ridiculously haywire. So, but you're right, man. Those boys are hitting out there. Terrell Edmonds on that play action. On that, what was that, first down? Then when they were down on the 4-yard line, right before the safety, I believe, closing to the ball. You can see Terrell Edmonds is more decisive now. And dog, we talk about Sean Davis. Maybe Terrell Edmonds is the guy that's going to take the leap in his second year and be more of the playmaking safety. He was all over the place. Love that. Physicality, get the ball out. Even Justin Lane, man, I saw when he was in the game, when he going for the tackle, even from behind, trying to knock the ball out. So I think that they definitely have beat that drum. Turnovers after the season we had last year where we dropped, 11 interceptions? Can't do that. We got to get our turnovers back up, and once we do that, I think we'll be back to playing some real Steeler football. Take that ball away, man. The only way for you to put up more points is get more possessions. But all right, guys, that's going to do it as far as the phone call. We got about little under 3 minutes left, so fire away in the chat. I will read a few chats, and then we'll be out of here. And yeah, I like that too, Big Marv. I think the hour is great, man. I think the hour will work out for all of us, man. George says, I'm impressed with Cam Kelly. Me too, man. I like Cam and Skipper. I really do like Skipper. My boy Tony said we be busting. Y'all got to hear Tony say that in person. One time I'm gonna get him to say that on air one time. That's his thing right there. He like dudes that be busting. So he loved Dangerfield for even some years ago because we both share that passion. We like dudes that like to crack, man. Devin Bush got that in him. Let's see. Nay says our shows. Yes, heck yes. All right. I think y'all love it. My man Milton. Oh, Milton, yeah, man. Round of applause to Milton. I thought I replied to you, man. I don't know if you got it or not, but round of applause to Milton Buckner. Want to throw him a round of applause, man, because he actually donated, off the show. He donated through the Cash App. I did get that. I thought I replied to you this morning, man, and I don't know if it went out or not. Maybe it was early. I was on the train. Maybe I didn't hit send. But thank you for the donation. And just speaking of that, man, since the show will wrap up here in a few minutes, guys, if you feel the need to donate, you can do it here on YouTube like Black Hawk did. You just click the $ at the bottom of the chat. If you prefer outside of YouTube, I have PayPal. I do have Cash App. All of that information is in the description. Always appreciate it. Never required. All right, so never feel like you have to do any of that. But I definitely appreciate that, Milton, man. Good looking on that. Appreciate that support. Why Diggy says, I saw this on Steelers Depot and want to see your opinion. Trade Eli Rogers for a tight end. They mentioned Austin Auclair from Tampa. Yeah, I saw that too. I wouldn't be mad at that because I think they said that we would give up a 6 in the tight end, or either a 7th in the tight end and then Eli in a 7th or Eli in a 6th, something like that, I wouldn't be mad at that, because tight end is another position where are we comfortable? See what I'm saying? And I think Gentry was battling a minor injury, even though I can't remember. Did Gentry play? I don't think Gentry played Sunday, did he? And then you're still talking about,
90 seconds.
Oh, Lord, there go that blog talk. All right, let me cut that off, guys. I keep forgetting that chime is in there. Y'all going to hear it say, thank you for using Blog Talk. Goodbye. I apologize.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I apologize. I promise y'all, by the time the season starts, I'll have all that together so y'all will never hear any of that information. So I'll stay here a few more minutes. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad about that. I wouldn't be mad about that trade. Kenya say he gonna get me back. Yeah, but Kenya, that was an excellent comparison though, right? How you feel about Bud is kind of how I feel about Artie. Like, I'm just tired of it. Oh, and by the way, definitely y'all can expect some visits from Kenyon and Tony throughout the season. Like, it's going to be some shows where we will take a few calls, but there's going to be some shows where it'll be more like a panel, where we'll bring these guys on and we can chop it up, and maybe a couple of you guys, man, we'll figure that out. But I definitely want to take this thing a little higher, bigger and better. What else y'all got? Maurice Ware says he's rooting for Grimble. Okay. Dupree for Clowney. Nays, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. You be having some wild scenarios with them trades, man. I love it though. I love the passion. Droz Hill says, why everyone is concerned with Juju being number 1 when Hines was our number 1 back in the day. Yeah. Kenyon, I think, responded to that. He's not Hines. And to me, it's not so much the fact that he's the number 1, because he still plays in a different position. You feel me? It's not like he's not number 1 like AB, because AB was our X receiver. Juju will be a Z receiver and a slot receiver primarily, right? But the number 1, the way I'm viewing it is that he's your biggest threat now. So the problem is going to be there's no longer, at least early on, there's no longer that guy that takes the pressure off of Juju and allows Juju to eat. Clearly, AB contributed to that, as well as Juju contributed to his own success as well. Let's not act like he's not a beast. I'm not even going to say was. But, come on, man, when you got, arguably, at the time, the number 1 receiver in the league on one side, all that coverage is going to get rotated over there. And that's what's going to happen to Juju this year, and we're going to see it. I guarantee you we're going to see it week 1. Bill Belichick is definitely going to devise a plan to try to take Juju out of the game, and the rest of these guys are going to have to step up. Drew says, Artie just need to do his job, not expecting for him to be special anymore. Dom, I'm right there with you, brother. Right there with you. Whoa, that's a wild name right there. Yo, I don't want to read my man's name because somebody might chop the words up and say that I was making some type of a slur. But I'll let you guys see what his name is right there. But he said we need to sign Lexington Steele at middle linebacker. I think he's joking, so I'm not gonna go further than that. But yeah, like I said, looking at his name there, I'm not gonna repeat that because trust me, people will chop this up and try to make it sound as if I said those words. All right, a couple more, man. Yeah, I know he's joking, Nays. I know exactly who he's talking about there. Milton says, Sim, did you see AB ignorant response to Ben interview Saturday? It will be on all the shows tomorrow. Let's end with that. I'm gonna be very quick with that. AB, let it go. That's just, to me, a hurt dog is the one that hollers, man. You know what I'm saying? To me, Ben didn't say nothing nasty about him in that interview. Ben basically said, look, I should have handled that better. And whether you like Ben or not, whatever. But just let it go right there. There's no need for you to say we was never friends. I was just trying to get my ends. Let it go. No, you let it go. You're the one that keep... I'm not going to waste our precious Steeler time talking about one of our greatest Steelers of all time who's no longer with us, who's acting like a pure donkey. In translation, you know what a donkey is. I don't understand it, AB. I really don't. I pray that he get his life together, finds happiness in his life, in his spirit, and move on. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But all right, man, we'll leave it at that. We'll go ahead and get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys tonight, man. A great turnout, a lot of viewers, a lot of callers, and that's what I really like. I want that to continue, man. If one day I'm talking for only 10 minutes and the rest of the show is callers, suits me just fine. But all right, of course, before you go, man, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right? If you subscribe, or if you're already subscribed, cut on your notifications. Click on that little bell icon so you know when videos are live. And definitely do me a favor and hit that like button. Please do that. Helps me out greatly. But outside of that, let's see what happens on Thursday. Kind of a da-dunk game, but maybe one of these guys will splash. Oh, speaking of which, let me end with this. It's rumors out there, or it's reports already that Dobbs is going to start in that game. Why? You know what? I'm going to hold it until after the game. But have we not seen everything we got out of Dobbs? Let the boy Hodges play. See, this is what I'm saying. The Steelers be stuck in their own ways sometimes, and they just go with the tradition. But Dobbs did win the job last year over Landry Jones. I don't know. Let Hodges play, man. That's all I'm going to say. We don't need to see Dobbs. But that's all I got. I'm out of here, man. You guys be safe. I'll see you guys Thursday night for the post-game show. And maybe we're talking about a kick return that Spencer got, or an outstanding play from someone else. And Skipper had 8 sacks in the game, and he's undeniably going to be on the squad. Something like that. Let's pray for it. But I'll see y'all on Thursday. Y'all be safe. God bless. Good night. And thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.